Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. I have a really cute project to share today. I say that every week, but this week, really cute. It's a cute little gift box, and you're gonna make 1,000 of them when you see how easy it is. All right, first we gotta clear off the space, so we gotta go through all this stuff. We are in the final days of October. That means final days of Blendtober. Every $50 you spend, I'm going to send you a free set of Stampin' Blends. As soon as you put your order in, just email me your choice of colors. You must use the host code. This host code here. You must use the host code to get those free blends, but every $50 you spend, you'll get free blends. You only have until Saturday. Saturday is October 31st, last day of the month. I'll have a new special for November, so make sure to check my blog on Sunday. And I'll have a new host code on Sunday too, so check my blog for that. Also ending Saturday is the Designer Series paper sale. It's 15% off 15 different patterns. If you haven't stocked up on these patterns yet, you need to stock up on them before the sale is done. It's an incredible sale. Make sure you stock up on these now before they go back to regular price on Sunday. So Saturday is your last day for that too. All right, Paper Pumpkin next month, November, is going to be Jolly Gingerbread. And the last day to subscribe is already coming up, November 10th. We are already at the very end of October. So if you want the November Paper Pumpkin Gingerbread themed, make sure you subscribe by November 10th. This was October's one. And I did do a Facebook Live in my VIP group last week. Let me get the cards. We made these two cards. These were the cards. These are the cards in October's kit. You make 4 of each card. They are gorgeous. So don't miss out on Paper Pumpkin next month. Make sure you subscribe. November 10th, there's a link to subscribe in the video description. And look at this cute little sneak peek. I just love it. I can't wait. All right. I have a class. I don't know where I'm going to put this stuff. I have a class going on right now, class sign up going on. It is my Christmas card class. We're doing it via Zoom this month, or in November, we're doing it via Zoom. All the details on the class, including time, how to register, place, your house, obviously, for your place, but all of those details are in the blog post that has them all. We are using the Tag Buffet kit. So you're going to make 18 Christmas cards and 12 tags. So it's a huge class. You're going to make a ton of projects, and we're just going to go like real quick. These are the tags you're going to make. They are so stinking cute. So a little sneak peek of the tags, and then just a quick little sneak peek of the cards. These are so cute. They are pretty phenomenal, and you're going to have lots of opportunities in the class to customize everything, all your tags, all your cards. You can customize them however you want, and it's gonna be fun because we're gonna do it over Zoom. So make sure you head to that blog post, check out all the details. It's going to be so much fun. You're gonna get a whole kit in with your kit and a few other things. The last day to RSVP for this class is November 8th. So make sure, if you want the Tag Buffet Christmas card class, make sure you RSVP pretty quick. All right, are you guys ready? So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna make. Look at this super cute little box. Isn't it so cute? We're using the Plaid Tidings DSP. That's on sale this month, only for a few more days. And it opens up. There's some little Ghirardelli squares in there. It holds 2. So it fits 2 perfectly. Isn't that cute? We've stamped the back of the box. It is so cute. This just tucks in right behind that little tag to hold it closed. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to show you how to make this, but I did want to show you a variation that I've made on this because this is such a cute little box. Obviously this one is Christmas themed, but you can make it year round. So this one is for a teacher. Isn't that cute too? So I used that same Plaid Tidings DSP. I just used a different pattern so you can see how versatile this stack is, that DSP stack, to an A+ teacher. And then I made it a little backpack. Isn't that cute? So there's little handles in the back. So I think it looks kind of like a little backpack. So you can do it just as a box. You can you can modify it, make a little backpack. You can also like add a little handle on it this way. That would be really cute to maybe use it for Easter. So just a super little versatile box, and it's so easy to make. So let me show you how to make it. And then I mean, you can modify this for any occasion. These will both be on my blog tomorrow. we're not making the backpack one. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but you're going to make the box the exact same way, and then you just add the little handles on the back. And those measurements are going to be on my blog, but I think they're 1/2 inch by 4. You can just add those on. So isn't that cute though? I just love it. So let's make this one though. And we're going to start with our stamping and our ribbon because those need a little bit of time to dry. So let's start with the stamping of the box and then we'll do the ribbon. So I have a piece of shaded spruce, and this is 6.5 by 3.5, and all the measurements, I'll add the measurements into the video description as soon as we're done, and then again they'll all be on my blog tomorrow, so you can make sure to check that out. So 6.5 by 3.5, which means you can get 3 of these from one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, which is great. It's a great way to make lots and lots. Okay, we're using the Stamparatus, and since we're using a cling mount stamp, I took out my black mat. You need to take this out when you're using the red rubber stamps. And then we're only using one plate, so I'm just going to set those 2 things aside. And let me get out my paper, and let me show you what stamp we're using. We're actually using 3 different stamp sets for this one project. The Palette Thoughts, we are using this really cute like wood texture one. Love that. We're using the Itty Bitty Christmas for the Christmas greeting. Of course, you can use any Christmas greeting you want. And then for the tree, I'll pull this in. For the tree, we're using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. Now, this isn't a Christmas stamp set, but it does have these really cute pine trees down here, so we're going to use those. This is just a really, really great year-round stamp set. You could use this for sure year-round. There's some nice fall leaves in there. There's summer trees. It's fantastic set, and there are coordinating dies as well. So these are the 3 sets we're using. The Stamparatus, Sarah Douglas showed this with this specific stamp set in one of her Facebook lives, and I loved it so much that I had to actually get the stamp set. It wasn't even on my list until I saw that. So what I'm doing is I have a little black mark here on my grid paper. It's my very used grid paper, but I've made a little black mark in the corner, and that is where I want my paper to go because I have my stamp lined up with that black mark to stamp on that black mark. So I'm just going to line that up. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And we're going to do something called the hinge step technique. So I'm going to use my shaded spruce ink, and let me put my stamp set under here. That makes your plate nice and flat, so it's easier to ink up. Now, this stamp is specifically made to do this hinge step technique that I'm going to show you, but you don't have to do this when you use the stamp, but I would still recommend using the Stamparatus because this is such a big image. The Stamparatus is perfect for those bigger images. Okay, so I have that nice and inked up with my shaded spruce, and I'm just going to stamp that down and make sure we get good coverage. If not, we can always do it again. Right here, I didn't get very good coverage, so I'm going to just put that back down and make sure that we give that a good press right there. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to lift up my plates, move it down 2 notches. So I'm going to move down 1, 2, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ink it up, and then we're going to stamp it. Stamp it right down, just like that. So cool, and you guys will see what I mean when I lift this up. Just want to make sure that, because it's a bigger stamp, you just want to make sure you get really good coverage. So cool. Isn't that so cool the way it lined up? So let me take this off. I'm going to hold it up for you. Isn't that so cool? I love it. It's practically seamless. All right, now we still have this half to go. So I'm going to turn this around, and I'm actually going to line up. So on my grid paper, I can see where my stamp has ended. So I'm actually going to line that up, line up my paper. I'm going to make sure that I'm on that same top line. I'm going to line up my paper where that stamping ended. And we're going to ink this up again. And then we'll just close it and stamp it again. Now, it's not going to be a perfect match. You're going to see the planks are a little bit off, but that's okay because it's going to end up being on the back or the side of the box, so nobody's even going to notice. So it's not a big deal. All right, one more little spot to get to. So I just moved my plate all the way back to the top. And now we have the entire piece completely covered with that wood plank. Isn't that so cool? And again, you could do this for any occasion at all. Okay, that wood is pretty versatile, that wood plank. Okay, so I'm gonna put that away. I'm gonna leave my ink pad out, which might be dangerous. I'm just gonna put it off to the side. All right, I want to color my ribbon. I am using let me grab it. I forgot to grab it down. I'm using the Flowers for Every Season ribbon. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch. It's really thick. It's really nice. I love it. But it was a little too thick for this project, so all I did was I cut my ribbon in half. So half of it is on this project, and then we're going to use the other half. I wanted a nice cherry cobbler bow to match the rest of our project, so I'm going to color it with my cherry cobbler Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use my brush tip. I'm going to start with my dark, and I'm just going to do half of it, well, a little more than half. Half of it with my dark cherry cobbler. I'm going to move it off to the side. And then keep coloring it. My dark cherry cobbler. And then down here, this little end. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my light cherry cobbler now. And we're gonna do the same thing. And I'm just gonna try to blend out that dark cherry cobbler. This is gonna give us like a really nice, almost ombre look to the ribbon. And if the ribbon frays a little bit, I'm okay with that because it just adds a lot of fun texture to this like rustic looking project. So love it. I have a little bit of the ribbon stuck to my, there we go. So isn't that cool? Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. And the blends will soak through your both sides, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're gonna set that aside to completely dry. It really won't take long. They're alcohol markers, so it really won't take long to dry. Okay, let's pull out the rest of our supplies. We do have a little bit of stamping to do. So I am going to pull out a scrap piece of white, and I am using this tree image. It's where did my stamp set go? There are two different pine tree images. There's one with 2 attached, and then there's one that by itself. So I'm using the one with 2 attached. We're going to stamp that on our scrap piece of white in the shaded spruce again. Okay, let me ink that up real good. I'm going to stamp this down here. We're going to die cut it in a minute. Isn't that gorgeous? I love all the light and dark texture set. Okay, we're done with the shaded spruce. We're going to put that away. We're going to stamp one more thing. While that dries, we're going to stamp one more thing in cherry cobbler. We're just going to stamp the little greeting. I have a little piece that's a little more than half an inch, maybe 5/8 maybe. And we're just going to stamp the Very Merry. If we don't get this right, we'll do it again. Oh, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Isn't that cute? So if you don't want to stamp it on a little piece, just stamp it on a bigger piece of white, and then you can always trim it out. Okay, that is all of our inking. So let's bring in our die cutting machine. We don't need to die cut that. We are going to die cut the trees. So I'm going to use the Nature's Root dies. So we're going to grab this one for our trees. We're going to die cut the trees. And then I'm also going to die cut a circle from our stitch shapes. And this is the second smallest circle. So I'm going to do that at white and white too. So let's pull in the machine. Pull this over. We'll die cut both of these at once. I'm going to have a little bit of Post-it tape just to hold my dies for my tree in place, just so they don't shift. Okay, and then our white piece, we're just going to die cut that. Or a circle. Okay, run this through. Our die cutting machine is fabulous. I use it every single day. I love it. So this die cuts all as one piece. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's set that aside, and then we have our stitch circle. Perfect. So I will put these dies aside. Let's move our machine out of the way so we don't lose those. Okay, let's start. Let's figure out the rest of our pieces here. I have this is the Label Me Lovely, I think. I think it's Label Me Lovely or Fancy. There's two. There's Label Me Lovely and Label Me Fancy, and I always get them confused. I will make sure I have the right one in the video description if you're on YouTube. If not, it will be on my blog. So these are just going to layer up. Isn't that pretty? So let's make our whole tag, and then we'll get to the box. So I have my stamped greeting here, and I'm just going to flag those ends. So I'm just going to use my scissors. You could use the Taylor Tag Punch. This I think is a little too small to go in that Banners Pick-a-Punch. You could hold on to it with a Post-it note, but we are just going to do little flagged ends super close to the greeting, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, let's get our trees onto our white circle, and I'm going to just use a little bit of liquid adhesive for that. Just going to put these down flat onto our circle. Perfect. And this is going to get popped up onto our cherry cobbler label. Probably 3 is enough. I keep pulling off dimensionals, but probably 3 is enough. Just like this, and that will just layer on there. And I just love how these 2 pieces layer together. Isn't that cool? I just love that. I just love the way it looks. All right, we're going to use a dimensional for our greetings. I'm just going to stick that kind of right between those 2 trees. I'm going to stick our greeting on there. And we're going to tie a bow. Our ribbon is nice and dry now. So let's tie our bow. Sorry, you guys are going to have to watch this painful process. Okay, I'm going to try again. My goodness, the bow tying on camera, the most stressful thing in the world. Okay, it's okay, it's not so bad. It's not the greatest bow, but it's not so bad. No, it's pretty bad. Let's try it again. One more time. 3rd time's the charm, right, guys? If not, we'll just add the bow later. Okay, there we go. I think we got it this time. We want kind of a small bow. This is a small little tag, so we don't want a huge bow. So let me grab some scissors and just trim that. And you can see these little frayed ends, and I love that. If you don't love that, you can always use our oh, I just lost the words for it. The white seam binding. You can always color that any color you want, and that would look gorgeous on this project too. All right, so I'm just going to add a glue dot to the back of that. I'm using some leftover paper pumpkin glue dots. And this is just going to go, I kind of tuck it right under my tag here. This one I put right on top of my tag, but this one I'm going to go under my tag. Kind of floof it a little bit. So cute. All right, finishing touch for this, and then we're going to work on our box. I have some gold gilded gems. Use my Take Your Pick tool, and we're going to add a couple of these just onto the tree, just to decorate the tree a little bit. A couple on that tree, and a couple on this tree. All right, so our tag is ready to go onto our box. So let's get to making our box, okay? So let me get all of this stuff out of the way. We're gonna need our Simply Scored, so let me make sure that all of this stuff's out of the way. And I'm gonna pull in the Simply Scored and that stamped, shaded spruce stamped piece that we did. So this is, again, 6.5 by 3.5. So on the 6.5 inch side, on the long side, pull this down, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. Looking at my notes, 1.5, 3.5, and 4.5. Okay, and you're going to rotate it, and you're going to score it at 1 inch on the 3.5 inch side. And that is it. So I'm actually going to turn it over to do the trimming so we can see those lines a little better. On the stamped side, it's a little hard to see all those lines, but you definitely want to stamp it before you score it. Otherwise you won't get a clean stamped image. So let's burnish these score lines with my bone folder, and then we'll start trimming pieces away. Okay, so on this little 1/2 inch side, you have a little 1/2 inch strip down here. We're just going to take out this bottom rectangle. And I'm notching in on that tab too, and I'm going to notch it up here. So I've notched in both of these. I'm going to cut straight up on this one and then notch in on these square ones. And I've already notched in a little bit on that one when I took out the other piece. So again, just along the bottom, we're cutting straight up to that score line, and then we're notching in. And these little square tabs are going to be on the inside. Nobody's ever going to see them. Straight up, and then notch in. And that is all the trimming on this box. That's it. So I'll lay that down so you can see. So we just cut up those bottom score lines and notched in on those, and then just notched these two. And we have one more piece to score. This is our DSP piece. This is about 2 and about 15/16, just 1 notch under 2 inches, and by 3. And we should have done this when I had this out, but I forgot. So I'm gonna lay this in here on the 3-inch side. We are just gonna score at 1 inch. Here goes my stuff is falling. That's okay. So on the 3-inch side, we just scored at the 1 inch, and that is all we have to do. I'm gonna use my bone folder and just kind of round that just a little bit, because that's gonna help with our, when we tuck it in. Okay. All right, so let's get putting this together. On this piece, I am going to trim just a little bit off of the sides here. The box itself is 2 inches wide, so if we cut this just slightly less than 2 inches, we'll have no trouble sticking this in. Okay, so let's get to assembling now. So the only places you need to put glue or adhesive, I'm using tear tape today. Stampin' Seal Plus would work great. The Tombow liquid glue would work great. So we are only putting liquid glue on this little 1/2-inch tab. And then we're going to put it on this tab. So the largest one that's closest to that 1/2-inch one. And I'm only going to put 1 piece on the back of that, just like that. And that's going to go on the inside. So your 1/2-inch one goes on the outside. This one goes on the inside. On our little DSP piece, we are putting some adhesive just below that score line on that 1/2-inch tab. And I'm actually going to do 2 pieces here because this is the lid and I want this to be nice and secured. Okay. So let's put this box together, then nice and secure, and peel that off. You're gonna be able to just fold on that second score line, fold on the first one, and that makes your box just like that. We're gonna push in our tabs, the back tab, and then let's get the tear tape off. Here we go. And then that front tab goes over just like that. And that is your box. That's basically it, you guys. I'm gonna stick my candies in. Oh, before I stick my candies in, let's put our lid on. Okay, so we're gonna peel this off. Peel this off. We're gonna stick our lid in. I'm gonna find the back. The back is gonna be where that 1/2-inch tab was glued down. And I'm going to stick this onto the back and line that score line up with the edge of the box. Just like that. So the score line is nice and flush with the edge of that box. Give that a good press, and now we can stick our chocolates in. And the Ghirardelli mint ones match almost perfectly with the shaded spruce, so it's perfect. Okay, a couple more things. We are gonna round these corners, and this would have been a whole lot easier to do if I remember to do it before you would hear it down. So make sure you do that. Do as I say, not as I do. So, but that just gives it a cleaner look. You don't have to do that, but it does give it a cleaner little look. So that is that's basically our box. So we're gonna attach our cute little label on here now. Let's move all this trash out of the way. So we're gonna attach this cute little label, and the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna use some dimensionals, of course. I'm gonna use one of these edge pieces. I'm gonna cut that, and I'm gonna fold my lid over, and where my lid stops, I'm gonna put my dimensional right below it. I'm not going to attach it. I'm not going to put the dimensional over the lid, but it's just going to give it something to tuck into. And then I'm going to put another dimensional down here. And we stick this on just like that. And this tag will hold that lid closed. Oh, I have to take the backing off for it to stick though, right? There we go. So stick that down, and then this will tuck right in just like that. Isn't that cute? What a cute little box, and so easy. You can make a ton of these. These would be great for coworker gifts, for teacher gifts, for little friend gifts, neighbor gifts, whatever you want to. If you want to have a little basket of these, if people come visit your house, you can hand them a little thank you gift. These would be great for Thanksgiving. You can put them on the table. Great for Christmas, table favors. So many amazing options for these. Again, you can modify it for a teacher. You can make it a little backpack, add some straps on the back, and you have some amazing little treats. Okay, so that is my project for today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and like my channel, subscribe to my channel. And again, if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Would love to answer them. And if you need to order any supplies, please head to my online store, use this host code. And I will see you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.